of what do you tell people that have lost their loved ones? What do you tell a small business owner? What do you say to that firefighter who's looking at all of his colleagues and him as the chief, with COVID? What do you tell them? And you try to center everything you do on the people and saving lives, but you feel like it's all out of control. And as a mom, as somebody that's always taking care of people, being the eldest of 14, I feel like I can't control this. And so it is overwhelming, and I'm just scared I'm going to let people down. They've already were on survivor mode, and the coronavirus kind of showed its ugly divide, just the economic divide, structural racism, how so many of my neighbors were already vulnerable. And that's why I see such a high rate of them getting coronavirus, but even dying from it. I'm always hopeful when I see the strength. That one thing is, every time we feel like we're getting knocked down, we get up back again stronger. And that gives me so much hope. And it's inspiring to see so many of my neighbors feeling that way. Like, we got this. We just have to have each other's back, to show up for each other. But yeah, it's my fear is that they get left behind and it gets worse for them when it already was bad.
What are your thoughts on our government's response at the local, the state, and even the federal level thus far?
Government's supposed to be about people. It's supposed to be centered around people. And unfortunately, corporate greed is a disease in our country, and at all levels of government. I think, there has been influence by corporations of maybe pushing back on stay at home, right? We see that divide. We see misinformation out there. We see folks not listening to scientists or health experts and really following the data and the importance of testing and tracing and tracking. And, you see so much pushback from those that want to listen to CEOs and corporations and bail them out, and not making government work for people first. I think we need to recognize how broken the systems were and how it wasn't normal before, that we need to create a new garment, a new sense of humanity, and have policy centered on people. I want reoccurring payments for folks now. And then even a year after the pandemic, they should still be getting some support from the federal government, making sure there's no irreparable harm to so many folks. That's what I want to see.
What are some more concrete lessons that you hope we as a community and as a society take away from this time?
Just how broken our healthcare system was. If there's anything, the for-profit schemes within our healthcare system, the fact that really sick people right now, hospitals, other folks in the health sector, it's too expensive to take care of them. I've seen a hospital try to close down. I mean, they closed down because it wasn't profitable to take care of sick people. And if there's anything, is to turn it all around and pass universal health care, get something like Medicare for all passed. If that could be possible, I mean, the sheer fact that we went through this, and we're going through this global pandemic, and there are still so many folks that can't get testing, that can't get the kind of care that they need. Hospitals are closing down. Doctors don't want to show up. There's so much that I've been hearing about how broken our healthcare system is.
What's something you've seen or heard that's made you proud of your constituents?
It's really wonderful to see everybody somehow it's doing arts and crafts, like they're making masks. They are creating these cover-ups. Even my sister-in-law was doing it the other day, and I said, "How did you learn it?" She goes, "Well, my neighbor was telling me how to do it." She sent me a YouTube link, and everyone wants to help. People are making food. Like, some of my small businesses are like, "Look, I'm going to have people come in and let's make some food for healthcare workers." The fact that folks are checking in on their neighbors, some of which they probably talk to very little throughout the year. I think, being forced to stay home is gotten us a little bit closer to humanity in some ways, ironically, and just seeing so many folks want to step up and volunteer I want to push for a, volunteer corps in our nation right now, where people can sign up to making sure that the most vulnerable, those that are disconnected, are getting the resources that they need. And I feel like if there's any community, any district, and it's not because I was born and raised here, I just know the more you push back and tell us we can't get through this, the more we show and say, oh, we'll show you that we're going to get through this. And it's collectively people coming together and taking care of each other.
Well, do you have any final words of wisdom or advice for people struggling and nervous out there?
I want you to know, when we really center on humanity, when we recognize everybody deserves to live, and if we really truly believe that, not choosing, what they call winners or losers, or trying to allow people to divide us, every single person deserves to live. And if we really center everything that we do, may it be through policy, may it be through our actions, may it be through even comments, if we centered around that and fully embracing it and understanding it, we are going to get through this even stronger, but we'll always do the right thing if we really center it on that.